I wonder what your thoughts on the Chinese names are, or if there's too many broken charts there.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's what follows. Baba, Baidu, and JD, which is like, let's see if there's anything to do there besides short. um, Look where we are on Baba. Look where we stop, 175, 179, right here. We're back into this area right here for the monthly. So is that the time to buy? It's like oversold in all of my charts, right? Mm,
Check the volume today. Jeez.
big volume. This is usually, if this was not as close as yesterday, I will say this is capitulation. So we're done, and we can play versus the 180 right here as a long, right? So like literally, this is support. This is the entry, like 180. We have it today. We can have it tomorrow too. But it's pure reversal. And then I'm gonna have to go into 1, 2, 3, 4 days, higher volume. The problem is like for capitulation moves, let's look when else it happened, right? Like right here, right? You have the big move from 235 down to 205, which is like 40 points, right? Bigger volume, like it's like 2-3 times over the average, right? And then from here, technically, if you buy it right here, you were never stop and you hit 231, which is where we came from. From here, all the way here, you put the red, all the way here, back here. So basically, if you think this is a breakdown play, this is the end, this is the reversal, and you came back to exactly the break point, right? So that's what I will expect, right? So now the problem is like we have the 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a big move into 180. Now, how do I trade? Usually, how do I usually trade this? What I don't want to see is I don't want to see 2 days of increased volume or even 3 days, right? This is like 1, 2, but this is like 2 days. So that's like there's still distribution right there. They didn't finish yesterday, right? And we remember what happened with Baidu. The problem with that they have, what was it with Baidu? Remember that they have some trouble that the Chinese were, oh, that was the guys that were leverage. The family office, that guy that was long.
Yeah, Huang, I think it was.
Remember that he was long AMC and all, I don't know why he was long or something that blew up, right? And he needed to liquidate Baidu. So the brokers were liquidating Baidu for him. So that's why Baidu went down like X many days. And I was like, wow, when is this going to stop? So I don't know if this is like massive liquidation from big institutions, which can absolutely happen. Now, as far as we as technical traders are, right? I will tell you this right now, right here. If we go over yesterday's high, which is 186.77 today, I can totally play this one for a bounce to 192. And then I take it day by day. So yes, it is, right? The only reason why I'm not loving it is because we have 2 days of massive distribution. So that's not going to be my main one. But if we see it going, absolutely. Now, would I trade it like heavy? No, I won't. I trade it like probably half my size and tight stop and just trying to see where it's going. Like if we happen to find 30 or 40% bounce, that'll be the idea on Baba. So I'm gonna put it right here, and I cannot call it capitulation, right? Because of the volume, right? For capitulation,
Fire
you
day
need,
volume.
yeah, you need the volume. The volume has to be like so extreme that you say, oh, everybody gave up. You see, like this one is still going. Like this is a capitulation that I was talking about, right? This is the day, right? This is a daily chart. So we're coming from here, 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 here. Look at the volume. So the morning we are 173. Look where we close, 208. So that was the day that was like the 40-day points on Baidu, and this one started showing in our scans like early in the morning because it was making so much volume that at this point, this was like at the open, it had already done like the normal volume in the day. So this is capitulation. This is when I want to get long. right? If we go back to BIDU, Baba, I'm sorry, we didn't have that one, right? We did have a little bounce, but look at the volume. We have 2 days of distribution, so it's not capitulation. This is like the typical capitulation trading right here. You want to buy, absolutely not a problem, and you sell end of the day, right? Because you know it's gonna be like it's gonna bounce like 2 or 3 days. So that's what I'm looking for. Like in here, we need to take a look, but I think based on monthly, now we broke the monthly point of control right here for the last 5 years, which is what I use right here. Think about that. Baba is at the 5 year point of control, so that's an interesting point. So what happened if Baidu comes all the way to 136? Right? So actually, let me do something. Let me start making these types of alerts in case that happen in one day, because it can happen tomorrow. Some bad news and it starts just dropping to 136. The moment I see 136 and we have the massive volume, we buy some at 136 and we hold it. We hold it for 2 weeks, right? Could probably bounce 40 points or 50 points. So that will be my take on this ones, right? Can you trade it as a pure intraday trade, momentum trade? Absolutely. So, but for that, you guys pretty much know exactly what to do, right? Whenever you have the pattern, you have the pattern right here, like here, short, that's a short right here, you enter and then you close. So that's totally different to what we're talking about right here, right? What I'm talking about right here is in a case that we flush again into 178 with massive volume, we can take couple contracts into next week, even the 180s, 190, and those are going to go like 1,000% easily.
You're
Right?
talking like 10 times average, like insane volume, right? Just so we're clear on what
Yes,
massive means
capitulation
there.
has to be massive volume, right? And this is basically like if you come on Baidu, right? Baidu trades normally about 11 million shares. So you're seeing a day like this one, this that I'm here at 28, 27 million. So everybody's looking at that thing, right? You're doing 3 times volume, and the next day you do 120 million. How big is that, right?
Yeah.
Hasn't done it. So that's the capitulation. And this was after this, we learned that the family office had, and they have to liquidate. And this is when you say like, well, there's a whale, basically massive liquidation of a whale, and they're gonna just drop the bits, whatever. Yeah, let him flush. And that's the flush. That's what we want to see as a flush. So whenever we see this, if we look in intraday, I promise you, intraday, you're gonna see this, right? The massive drop and then the big bids just jumping in. And that's a play that back in the day when I used to do the stocks only, that was something that we looked for quite a lot, right? Just doing the bounces, right? The capitulation bounces, because you can make literally 20, 30 points in just one day on one stock that is not supposed to move 30 points. So yeah, it has to be, when you're talking capitulation, it has to be like massive volume, like something extraordinary, right? Like right here, we're talking average is 12, and that day you were making 57, which is like 4 times, close to 5 times, right? 12 times 5, that's 60, 500%, right? So that's the day you say like, okay, something's up right here. Now, 60 million is a lot, but we did it 2 days in a row. So I should have expected to see something, but today they just drop it. Now we close on a green bar, so a lot of people might be trapped, right? That's what I'm willing to consider along tomorrow, right? Because if they didn't close past when the market actually bottom, which is at 115, if they didn't close the shorts, probably they all have the stops at 180, 190. Some of them probably are short that they have the stops at 183. So basically, it's the same thing that the Wall Street bets were doing, right? It's just a short squeeze.
Squeeze.
Exactly. It could be a short squeeze. Basically, that's the technical term of what we try to do when you do the capitulation, right? People tend to chase the momentum. So they don't realize that they're down like 20% in 3 days, and they just keep shorting and shorting and shorting. The moment that the bids start coming out, that's when the massive run up happen. So let's do JD and look at JD. It's the same chart. So basically they bottom today, right? Look. Now for location, look at JD, look at the monthly buy, and look at the Fibonacci. So we're testing the 61%. So we have something here. We haven't lost it all. So actually JD could be a good watch. We are at, remember guys, I use my Bollinger Bands, so I know we're at three standard deviations, right? So we have a 3 standard deviation. If I see a gap or any move over 6503, 6539, that's a play too. So JD over 65, 40, 65, 50, right? And this has to be momentum, guys. We don't wait for this thing to like make sure you understand the plays, right? It's just out of the blue, you see the volume and it just goes. This cannot start doing this, because if we start doing this, that means we're not at the bottom just yet, right? What we're playing is like people trapping the shorts, right? So these guys are trapped. If we take 65.50 right here, they're gonna be trapped. So 65, we go easily 68, 70, why not? Right? I like this. I like this one. Pretty awesome that you brought this one up, Kyle, because it's different, right? As the market starts changing, we need to change too. We can do everything the same, but there's some other possibilities that we can work with. So that's JD.